Hello, everybody, and welcome, Thierry Heins. Our guest today, he's the director of Concours Mondial Spirit Selection. It's a great pleasure to have you here, Thierry. How are you?
I'm fine. Good evening, everybody, or good morning, everybody. I don't know.
Well, you're totally right, depending where they are.
Yeah.
So, Thierry,
No, I'm fine.
hard times. I know you're traveling quite a lot. How was those last 3 months for you?
Very, very, very quiet. It was funny because it was both a wonderful moment and at the same time a stressful moment. Because I have the chance to live in the countryside in a very nice region in the northeast of France when I moved 25 years ago. And so I was not locked down in an apartment. So I had the chance, to breathe, to be outside every day. The spring was fantastic, was very nice this year. I don't know if it was the same in Austria, but I guess most of the country in Europe, we have very nice spring. And then, I had the chance also, I have a second activity, which is, planting orchards of very old varieties of apples. So I use this opportunity, to concentrate on this business. Try to do things that I could not imagine to do before. If I was busy with the spirit selections, for example. But at the same time, it was very stressful because we are a communication agency and we organize also events around wine and spirits. And then, of course, due to the pandemic, most of the institutionals as well as the producer, they cut off the budget, and then for the events, of course, most of them have been cancelled.
I see. Well, you said it's about the same here. We could go outside, we could go for a walk, but again, all the borders are closed. No traveling at all. Depressing.
Yeah.
Quite depressing.
Yeah, it was quite depressing. I miss that now. Traveling. Especially going to China. I used to go 3-4 times a year, and then now nothing. And I don't know when we will come back to a degree of normality. It will be possible to go this year, but I believe not. But okay, that's life. We have to deal with it. Yeah, and we cross the fingers that we'll come back to a certain degree of normality at the end of this year. Yeah,
absolutely. When we look back and we are happy that we had some time for a small break. Maybe.
Sorry, for a small break. Yeah.
For this small break we had. We have lots of friends here. Don Dimi is there. Hello, Don Dimi. And Paul Dempsey is also here. Best regards to you. We wanted to talk about competition.
Yeah. Hello, Don. Hello, Paul.
We wanted to talk competitions, and obviously. Can you hear me?
Cut off. Is it okay?
Yeah,
yes, now it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yes.
Concours Mondial. I know Concours Mondial is one of the older competitions in Europe. It came from the wine side, and now it's a full-blown spirit competition. How did you get into Concours Mondial spirit selection, Thierry? Looks like we lost him. Hopefully he's back in a minute.
We always been in touch, and then from time to time he asked me to help him, for some projects. And in 2013, he officially asked me if I would like to join the competition and boost the competition spirit selection.
Okay.
Arthur, are you still there?
Yeah. You've been scrambled. You've been away, and we
me.
have lost your
Hello,
picture,
hello.
but we can hear
We have
you.
some connections problem. Hello.
Hello. Yes, now I can see you. Can you hear me? No? Thierry? Thierry? Test. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello. Thierry? Okay. We hope he will come back in a second. Malin, hello. Greetings to Mexico. How are you? I tried to text him. Sorry for this. Never happened before. Yeah, you're right, Dimi. There seemed to be no internet in France. Oh, yes, here he is. Back again?
Yes, I don't get any Wi-Fi problems, and I'm on the internet cable, but I don't know, so I had to reconnect.
Okay, good that you're back.
All right.
Okay. Shall we start? The last thing I heard was
yes,
he invited you to promote the competition.
Yes, in 2013. So I joined just after the Taiwan edition. You were part of it, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Taiwan was the first big spirit selection on its own, as I remember.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Because we decided to split the two competitions because due to the logistics problems, and also because, in 2006 we decided to the Coco Mondial became itinerant. So I mean, the expectations of the spirit tasters, of the wine tasters, are not the same. So if you go to Bordeaux, for example, it's not really the best place, I mean, for a spirit tasters. If you go to Cognac, yes, it will be okay. So that's the reason why we decided to split the two competitions as well.
Okay. So it was about location, it was about communication as well, or?
I'm sorry, could you repeat? Because it was cut.
Okay, I mean, you said you split it up because of the locations, but possibly also regarding the communication to concentrate on producers, to divide wine and spirits.
Connection is not good. I mean, I don't know what's happening. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
No, I could not see you. No, I mean, the reason why we decided, I mean, to split the competition, because, spirit selection is more than than a competition. It's also a press trip, for the tasters, because we want to introduce the spirit tasters to other categories, to mediatize, I mean, the host region.
Okay.
I think we have trouble again. I don't know if you hear me. I don't see you again. Very bad connection. I don't know.
Well,
okay. Did you?
I can hear you, and now I can see you. You're not moving, but there's a still picture of you.
Okay, so maybe I try to understand your question, and I keep going. So I mean, introduce the spirit tasters to other categories of spirits, like we did in China in 2015 and 2019, the cachaça in Brazil in 2014, then in Chile with the Pisco of Chile, and then we move also to Tequila City, where there was also a great place in Mexico. So that's the thing, and that's our plan. I mean, continue to introduce people and also train them. Also because we also initiated a project which is the sensory guidelines for spirits, thanks to the initiative of Paul Peng Wang from Taiwan, who, because we say that all spirit tasters cannot be familiar with all categories of spirits, and then sometimes it's also interesting. I mean, to be a little bit more trained about, and then to acquire. All the informations about the specific categories that you are not more familiar.
I see. I mean, you gave us already an overview. It seems that the Concours Mondial spirit selection is traveling quite a lot, commonly traveling between South America and Asia, back and forth. Is there?
Yeah.
Is there a
exactly.
Reason
and we've been in Bulgaria 2 years ago, right?
Yes, but is there a reason why Asia and South America, or could it be everywhere?
I mean, no, it could be everywhere. I mean, the thing is that for the moment, it depends also of the host country. I mean, if they really wants to promote and they have the feeling that they need to be more visibility on the international market, they come to us because they know us, and then we make a proposal and we discuss how we can organize it. I mean, also an international competition. I mean, if you ignore, for example, the Baijiu from your list of spirits, I mean, can you pretend to be an international competition? So I mean, it was a chance for us. I mean, to organize it in China, because most people say that nobody knows, in fact, but I mean, Baijiu counts for 35% of the total production of spirits in the world. So I mean, it's a huge category, very diverse. So that's the reason why we've been in China twice. Okay. Then we've been in Mexico, but also in Bulgaria for the fruit spirits. But I mean, there's no reason. I mean, I would like to be, to organize it also in Scotland or in France, for the cognac and the whiskey. But it's not probably not the easier. I mean, even if it's a very old category, it's very well known, very well. Maybe they don't need really, or they feel they don't need. But I don't desperate to go there one day. But I mean, it's not in the pipeline for the moment. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Well, we got joined by a lot of others. Hello, Helmut, René, and Ulrich. Whenever we talk about spirit competition...
Good evening, everybody.
Whenever we talk about spirit competitions in Europe, there are about 3 names popping up. It's Concours Mondial, it's IWSC, and it's the German Internationale Spirituosenwettbewerb. If you would get approached, what's the difference between Concours Mondial spirit selection and other competitions? What is the highlight? How?
Yeah, I mean, the first, yes, the fact that it's itinerant. I mean, I think it's the only spirits competition which is traveling to another country every year in order to mediatize the region. I mean, the host country, and also to introduce our judges that are, consultant or journalists or experts in spirits or traders, to introduce them to, the categories of the host country. We have talked about this, The second thing is about, I think that compare with other events, I think the spirit selections embraces, let's say, a wider range of spirits category. We talk about Baiju. I mean that last year, just to give an example, about 600 samples of Baijus entered the competition, which is, I mean, unique. I don't think that any other competitions in the world, you know, have so many Baijus. And then we could have double, you know. I mean, that we have to slow down a little bit because otherwise we will become a spirits competitions about Baiju. But okay, I mean, it's a very, very interesting. It's not an easy category, of course, because it's, we are not very familiar, but most of our tasters now are much more familiar with the Baiju than they were 5 years ago. So this is about the spirits category. Let's say that our main categories in terms of number of samples after Baiju is one. We have also many samples, fruit spirits. We're not buried in, and then and also liquor. Liquor is also a big category. I mean, in the spirit selections. Also, I mean, another thing, but I have no. Maybe I say something wrong, but I mean, we have panels of tasters from of very different, I mean, many different nationalities. We had last year 28 different nationalities represented into the jury panel. Does it make something different? We believe so, because we match.
The line is really bad. I'm not sure if you can hear him. I just can't hear him at the moment.
Background, they have a different approach. It's interesting to it's interesting. I mean, to have I mean the comments or the approach of the other people in the feedback. I mean that's the thing. We don't say that it's better. We say this is different.
I mean, I'm lucky enough.
Okay, you still hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. All right. So that's about, I mean, the nationalities of the judge. Another thing, it's about the categories and how we taste the product. I mean, even if you are a specialist of whiskey, to say something, you're not going to taste only whiskey. You will have to taste different categories of spirits. Normally, you have 3-4 flights, so 3 or 4 different categories per day, per jury panel. If you are less familiar with a category, I mean, it's not so important, because we have probably in your jury panel people who knows more about this category, and then it's a kind of discussions that the tasters can have. Of course, they have to judge first of all alone, but after they can share and decide if, I mean, this particular product or sample were a medal or not.
Yeah, understand. I mean, to make it clear, I'm one of the people who are allowed into your competition. So I'm a judge at Concours Mondial for quite some time now, and the international family of judges is one of the biggest families I've ever seen. So I clearly understand this is a standout feature of the competition. Oh, come on, Thierry, not again. Paul Ulrich, is it only me, or is he also off the stream? Thierry? Hello? We lost our guest. Yes, he's back. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
We lost you for
Okay.
a second.
Ah, okay. I could see you. No, so I didn't know. All right.
Oh no, we only saw a screen.
Okay. So when did cut?
I mean, you finished with your summary, and I told you to people that I'm also part of the Concours Mondial judges, and that I experienced myself how important and how big the international family of judges is, and that is a really unique thing for Concours Mondial.
Yeah. Yes, of course, but the thing is, it's a nice family, but also they're all really excellent professionals, and then they can be very, very serious during the tasting sessions. Very quiet place, you can really work, and then because they have a huge responsibility. Towards the producers, that they have asked us, to make the evaluation. Yeah.
Okay, I've got two very interesting questions from Ulrich and Paul, and I want to pass it on, not directly the question, but I wrap it up. I mean, if we look at the big three in Europe, it's obvious we have at least one English-speaking, one French-speaking, and one German-speaking. The German-speaking seems to be only important in Germany, whereas Concours Mondial and IWC are internationally. Do you think it's a pro or con for you being a French-speaking competition?
It's always been from the beginning the same thing also for the Concours Mondial de Bruxelles. We are much more well known in the, let's say, Latino or Latin, speaking language people like France or Italy, Spain, South America. The Concours Mondial is really a reference in those countries. It's a little bit more difficult, yes, in the United Kingdom or in Germany. I think it's it could be sometime, the language problem or the way we communicate. Whatever we do, because if you go on the Spirit Selections website, you can see that the website is in 4 languages, and maybe next time in 5 languages. So we spend a lot of efforts, to communicate, and we have people that also are fluent in Spanish, in English, among the organization team. But whatever we do, it's still a long way to go. To attract more producers or more sample from those countries. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I
but
see.
That's from.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. I will come back to that later on when we talk about the scope of spirit selection. But I would love to jump back again, because you said it's about how you taste, who tastes the products. And I know Concours Mondial has quite a unique scoring system. How is it different to the others?
That's, of course, the spirits are tasted blind. It's not unique. Of course, it is in all competition. And we ask the tasters to judge them by sight, by smell, and by taste, and to give an overall impression. So they have a scoring systems. They have to give a score to the 4 criteria. And have also we ask them to give some notes. Really to describe the different criteria. Why we ask them to do that? Because we provide to the producer that are if they ask for, we can provide. We want to provide to the producers a tasting feedback, an official tasting feedback.
Off he goes.
They got an award, they're happy also to know a little bit more about the product. But if they dislike the product, it's one of our tasks. To provide a feedback. We don't say that is the Bible, but we say this is what the jury panel said. So we try to compile. We compile the tasting notes and the comments, and we provide written feedback.
There was written feedback.
Okay.
Yeah. There was written feedback. In how many languages do they come back?
How is the land? You mean?
The languages. You got people from 28 countries judging. How does it work with the feedback?
Yeah.
Is it all in one language, or do you have translators?
That's a good point. Because that's the reason why we first of all the official language of the competition is English. Of course, when I have some Chinese, tasters, sometimes it's difficult. But last year, what we did, we stay a couple of days after the competition, and we had translators that translate all the tasting notes of the Chinese, tasters. It's quite a job, I don't know, but we took about 3 to 4 weeks last year to compile. I think that about we provided about 900 tasting feedback.
Goodness me.
So the next time that I will ask again to all the tasters, please write, with your best, calligraphy. But try to be because it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, but it's okay. It's a big job, but it's okay. We can make it. Maybe in the next year we will use the tablets.
Okay. New information.
If we can use the tablets, the iPad, we have that for the Concours Mondial for the wine. For the wine, we have that. So we have in live, the results, but also you can write some comments, and that will be much more easy. We want to implement that in the future. Yeah.
Okay. I know from Ulrich, and he just writes, I can answer this. I allow the judges to write in French, English, and German. It wasn't quite a job. It was a freaking massive job. But I did.
Yeah. We spent 3 days with him, and then also Christian Kilmeyer was with us, and then we tried to debug everything, and then but it was okay. Some people it's very easy, and then for some tasters we had they did a very very good job, really complete. Written feedback. For some of them was a little bit more short, or we had to just a few words, but okay, that's nice. But the reason why I try to keep also the same, a bunch of tasters from 1 year to next year. In order to because we can improve that way. We can improve the systems. Yeah.
Okay. I can believe that.
But I don't know if we are the only one to.
Pardon?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead.
Yeah.
The more
no, it's okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
The more they taste, the less I could read it. Okay, Ulrich, that's a hard job for you. We got we got mostly 6 people in a group, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And you got those.
Yes,
6.
and
you got six numbers from the jury.
So sorry, you have 6 numbers.
So you get 6 scores for a product. How do you proceed? How do you come to a final scoring?
For the final scoring, yes,
Yeah.
we have a Windsor Eyes. We calculate a Windsor Eyes mean. So it's not an arithmetic mean, but we look at the lowest score and the highest score, and that is integrated, and we calculate a Windsor Eyes mean. Yeah. So we can a little bit, minimize the dominance of any one person. You know what I mean? If you are really extreme in your judgment, or you probably dislike the product, or you don't understand the product, your score will be minimized into the final scoring. Yes, it's a good question. Yes, thank you, Arthur. Yeah.
So that means that's again something unique for Concours Mondial, because I presume no one else does it. At least I don't know it from any other competitions.
No, we use these systems in the wine competition from its advent, but I never been. Honestly, personally, I've never been, invited all the competition, to judge. So I don't know exactly how they calculate, the systems. The good thing also in the Concours Mondial for the wine, that's more difficult to implement for the spirits, but we are still studying, the possibility is that we can also trace back, the profile of every taster. So they can see, how they judge according to the rest of the jury panel. They can see how and we can detect with the system that has been developed by the University of Leuven in Belgium. We can detect if you are tired, for example, one day, because it's not your profile, because we have history about you, and then we can absolutely follow, if you are. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting, but it also minimizes, the impact of, you can be sick, you can be tired, you can be whatever, and then that's also the reason why the number of samples per day that you can judge, you can assess, cannot be above 35 samples a day. Yeah, because that's it's impossible after 35 samples to be to give a correct judgment.
When I remember,
your sense are completely.
When I remember right, there are no more than 45 samples.
No, 35 samples per day.
Really? Is it the limit?
Yes, 35. You don't have more than 35 a day.
Wow. So Windsorized mean no more than 35 samples.
Yeah.
International judges
per day per jury panel. Yes, and we change of category. Also, you can have 3 to 4, let's say 3 to 4 different flights. So you can start, for example, by Peruvian pisco, then you go to let's say brandy, then tequila or mezcal, and then baijiu. Because also it depends of the let's say the specificities of the category. It's better to start with something which is everybody understand that if you start with mezcal or baijiu, it will be your sense will be totally burned out. Will be impossible to taste something else after.
That would be like starting with Islay whiskey into the day.
I'm sorry?
That would be like starting with Islay whiskey into the day. Too intense.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's the same thing. But I think that I've heard that in some competitions they gave to, for example, 80 to 100 vodka a day to the tasters. So I think that I wouldn't do that, because I wouldn't like to be the sample number 80 or 100, of the category.
Well, absolutely. I'm totally with you. 35, absolutely. That's a very reasonable number. But everything above 60, I think you can't be fair with your judging anymore.
No,
Don't,
I don't think so. Either.
Remember,
yeah.
Don Dimi wants to start with peated whiskey next time.
And finish with peated whiskey.
Of course, the whole day.
Yeah.
May I ask if
yeah.
if you get asked what is the scope of Concours Mondial spirit selection? Is there, if you're a producer entering, or if you ask who should enter Concours Mondial spirit selection, is there a profile who's better with Concours Mondial, or should everybody always enter Concours Mondial?
No, I mean, the things, the competition has been set up, for the consumers first, because they have a so large choice of spirits in the department stores, for example, in the shelves, and if you are an informed, spirits drinker, you don't know what to choose. So there are a vast choice of spirits, so they need some indications. That's the reason why this competition exists. All right. So as far as your competition is fair and rigorous, and then you don't give too many medals. Otherwise, if everyone else in the shelves has a medal or a sticker or whatever the competition is, it doesn't make sense. So the reason why also in the Concours Mondial, not more than 30% of the samples can pretend to a medal. We do not say they are not of a good quality, but we ask the spirit tasters to choose among the samples of the flight to let's say, to choose the best of the best, let's say.
Mm-hmm. What happens to the other ones if there are more than 30%? Do they still get awarded a medal, or do they get cut out?
They are cut down. They are cut down. But last year, to be really honest, we had 33.5%. So we cut a little bit. That's okay, but it just, we look at the lowest score, something that makes very strange about the comments and the final scoring.
Okay.
But it's what we do. It's what we do. But if we are 32%, we don't touch at it. We say the goal is 30%. If it's 32%, it's okay. We're not going to look at every details and to choose the judgment of the jury panel. But if it happens that in the jury panel they go to 40%, of course we have to. But we see that immediately. We go to the chairman of the jury panel. We ask them, this is not the goal. This is not the goal to give a medal to every product.
I must be quite rigorous. That never happened to me before. Okay.
I don't know. I don't have the statistics in front of me.
Well, may I ask? If you say 30%, that's quite a fair number, because other competitions just give out 50 or 60% and they don't care. But how do you cut them? Do you overview per day? Do you overview at the end and look at the lower scores, or do you cut them as they come in a running order? Thierry?
Look at we look not per day, but we look per jury panel, because it happens that some jury panel, they have a highest level of awards, and this is what we detected the last 2-3 competitions, that some jury panels they give more awards. So we look at that jury panel first, Per day, no, because I mean it's what I said, you know, to the tasters at the beginning of the contest. You can have flights when you don't give any medals, and you can have flights when you want to give medals to all of the products, you know, because you see that's a fantastic series of, let's say, cognac or whiskey, and then we don't ask them to check, you know, by flight and to say, oh, 30% in every flight and then 30% per day and so on. You know, you have, you know, a flexibility. But, you know, I mean, there's a reason why we asked the chairman, you know, I mean, we have the same chairman, you know, from 1 year to
He's cut again. Sorry. There really seemed to be bad internet in France today.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Are you back, my friend? Thierry? Hello?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We couldn't see you for a moment. Sorry. Well, let's go into the next question. I mean, who then should enter Concours Mondial? Is there a profile? I mean, you said that the concours, with being French-speaking origin, has more friends in the French and Spanish-speaking regions of the world. Could that be a profile for producers to enter when they want to approach those areas?
No, it's not about the nationality. It's not about the country. You know, we want to get as many different nationalities as we can. I mean, as far as also they have interest, you know, in the spirits industry. You know, I'm not going to look for people where, I mean, Muslim country, of course, it doesn't make sense, man. But I mean, no, I mean, we had 28 nationalities last year. We have people from as I said, from China, from India, from Sri Lanka last year, yeah, for the first time. From South America, no. I mean, that's. I mean, also the importance of the spirit industry or of the market. We could tend to get a little bit more tasters coming from country where the spirits market is very high, but honestly, I didn't really pay attention to that. I tried to mix people, and I love to get people from different countries. Yeah.
Okay, but shifting back.
Are you still there?
I mean, yeah, I'm still there. We listened to you. The question was, who should enter Concours Mondial? Which producer should enter Concours Mondial? Is that a profile?
For the producers.
Yeah.
I mean, the big companies, whatever we say, they say that we have more private or family business. I mean, brands, but if I look at the entries of the last 3 to 4 years, we had more and more craft spirits into the competition. But I love to get also, I mean, the products for the big companies, you know, like Diageo, Pernod, and so on. But they register some samples depending, you know, sometimes with the subsidiaries. But we have a bit of everything, you know. We have the big groups, but I would say mostly, you know, middle size and very small business also, more and more small business, yeah, or new business. Okay. They want to benchmark on the market, so the reason why they come to the competition, I think, yeah.
Which brings us to the point, you're still open for entries. What is the deadline of Concours Mondial?
September 30. We extend the deadline for entries because we relocated. We have relocated the competitions to Brussels, so we have more time. And then everybody was a little bit, I mean, most of the office, were closed. There were nobody. If you were calling, when I called some producers 2 months ago, there was just somebody on the phone, and then everybody was at home, and then no, it was impossible to, and they had something else to think about. So we hope that this extended period will give us the time, to collect the samples for this competition. Yeah, it's okay for the moment, but we need to boost. We have to call everybody. There's something else in mind for them. Everybody, in every way. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, lots of competitions changed the format and sent out samples to the judges instead of bringing them together. You still intend on having a proper tasting with all the judges?
Yes, I think it will completely change. I don't think that is bad. It's also something. In response, to the all things about the global warming, traveling, and so on. This is something about. It's something that we think about. It's a big logistic issue. To move all these people, but also, some. If we stop to do this kind of event, how this country, or for example, the spirits category that we know less, how will they have a chance, to be mediatized as well, So no, we want to keep going, and then that way, hope we can keep going. That's really our specificity. Yeah.
Okay, so with a little bit of luck, we will see us in end of October in Brussels for tasting some beautiful spirits. What are your future plans? You said in the intro, commonly you would have been 3 to 4 times in China.
I have many. What I can tell you, because I can't, that we announced the next host country at the end of the competition, so the last day. This is a tradition. For 2022 is already confirmed. Again, if we can travel. And for 2021, it will not be Colombia. They have cancelled it because they think that they will take times for them, and then they don't want to do that next year because there was a possibility just to postpone it to next year. So they say no, but we have a plan B for next year, and then we hope to formalize it in the next few days. And then, but there's a good chance. Yeah.
Well, fingers crossed for you. It works out fine. What will be your next travel?
Normally, I should go to Czechia in Brno for the Concours Mondial, the wine competitions from the 4th to the 6th of September.
Okay. So
it will probably one of the first. I know there was Menninger, there was in Germany, but for the wine competition, so we have 350 tasters, so it's a big challenge. And then, but they're keeping the dates and the date, and then it's nice to see that we can do it as it was scheduled, but not at the same dates, but with the same program, and in Brno. Yeah.
Okay.
So that will be my next trip. Yeah.
I cross the fingers for you that it's going to happen. And I say thank you very, very much for your time, Thierry. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Don't go away. If we go offline, we can talk a little bit further. I'd like to say thank you to everyone watching us and being patient with our bad internet line today. Just for you to know, we're not only doing advertisement for Concours Mondial. We love our friends, and hopefully you send some samples along. But we also will have a chat with Christelle from IWSC on the 20th of August. And we also have invited the director of tasting from Meininger Verlag, which will be with us at the last Thursday in August. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good time, and bye-bye. See you soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Arthur, and bye-bye, everybody, and see you soon.
Bye-bye. Yes,
Bye.
sure.